If we can be all the way honest, this is, I want to say, the number one reason why a lot of women, watch this, lose respect for men is because they can't make a decision and stand on it. Let's really be honest, all the way honest. I'm going to break this episode all the way down because so many men make decisions or you say stuff. Watch this. Some operate from emotion, some operate from logic. But the number one way to get a woman to disrespect you and not value you or not hold you in regards as her leader, right? Is when you unwaver with your decisions. It's not that you're making bad decisions or good decisions. You just don't stand on your decisions.
Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me
What's going on,
out.
family? I want to welcome you to Aos The Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Aos Inspires. This is what I need you to do. We're on every single platform: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I need you to go and subscribe and follow us right now. We drop content every single day that'll help you with your life because our mission here at Aos The Podcast is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. I want you to live life on the next level. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's watching this episode. This is going to be a dynamic episode. I need you to dive in. Do me a big favor. I need you to like, share, and comment. Don't be a stranger. Comment with us. And this is what I need you also to do. I need you to copy this link right here on this podcast, this episode, and share it with at least 10 of your friends. I promise you, it's going to help them out. Let's jump into the episode. What's going on, family? I want to welcome you to another episode of Aos The Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Aos Inspires. I'm excited about this episode on today. We're going to dive deep into it. Listen, man, I hope your week has been going amazing. I want to say, listen, before we get started into the preliminaries, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys that have supported. You already know we're monetized currently on Facebook and also YouTube. We're trying to get monetized on TikTok as well. This is what I need you to do. They say that you can't really start monetizing or growing or really do anything until you get to like 10,000 subscribers on TikTok. This is what I need you to do. I need you to go to TikTok, search Aos The Podcast, Aos.inspires. And find our page, subscribe, and I need you to like about 50 videos in a row. Like 50 videos, comment on at least 10 of them so that the algorithm can get the go. And I mean, the algorithm is doing pretty good. I have people that walk up to me that say, "Hey, you the dude from TikTok, right?" And they've been seeing me, and they're like, "Hey, I rock with you." And so the marketing that we're doing, the advertising that we're doing on TikTok is really moving, and it's doing some amazing numbers. So listen, I want to greatly appreciate each and every one of you that jumps on and helps us with the marketing, helps us with the shares. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. But enough of all that. I want to jump into this episode on today because a lot of people are dealing with this issue, right? Fellas, I got to really be all the way honest and all the way candid. When you make a decision in your relationship, fellas, stand on it, right? Because let's really be honest, the number one way for a woman to start disrespecting you, right? Or even better yet, to not trust your judgment is when you're wavering in your decisions. Fellas, I see this all the time. I see men make decisions. They don't stand on it. And I'm not saying that they change their mind in the midst of the situation. That's not what I'm saying. It's not that they change their mind. It's that the decision that they made at the moment, they can't stand on it. Not because they don't believe it, but because they don't have the heart to stand on their decisions. Fellas, listen, I'm going to say this. A lot of men in relationships fail in their relationship. Why? Because they make decisions. Watch this. They make decisions. And since their woman, big one, since their woman doesn't like their decision, they change. And I'm going to really be honest with you. That is the real sign of a weak man. When you make a decision And just because your woman doesn't like, and I'm not saying don't compromise, we're going to jump into all that too, because a lot of people will look at it and say, hey, what I say goes. And, if I say, let's move to the left, we're moving to the left. If I say, we're going to buy this, we're going to buy this. Or if I say that we're going to move here, we're going to move here. Now, that's not, there's a fine line between standing your ground and making a decision and standing on your decision and also being controlling. It's a fine line between the two. Many of you want a situation where you can control the woman. Nah, I'm not speaking to you guys. I'm not speaking to that point either. I don't believe in leadership as far as a relationship where you are trying to control the woman. Now, I don't believe that. I believe that she should have a say so. I believe that she should have her own mind. She's going to look at things differently. However, I had a conversation with some friends this week, and one of the things that came up, I was suggesting, and I understood their point, but I was suggesting that a woman allows a man to lead. Now, in retrospect, in all aspects of a relationship, yes, a woman allows a man to lead. Now, what my friends they were saying was that a woman it's something in a man, right? It's something about this particular man that makes her want to be faithful or makes her want to be submissive to this guy. At the end of the day, the way that I strip back the layers is that she's allowing him, right, to lead. She's allowing herself to be submissive, right? Because this is the thing. This is the reason why I say that allow, because in every single woman, I believe this, in every single woman and also every single man, there's a level of submissiveness, right? Now let me peel back this layer real fast while we're here. Many of you have looked at the word submissiveness or submissive as being a bad connotation or a bad definition, right? You guys see submissive as, oh, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. I'm a slave to you. I listen, yes or no. No, that's not being submissive. Being submissive is pretty much, matter of fact, let's do this real fast. This is the first time on the podcast that we're doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Submissive. I'm gonna look up the definition while we on the podcast, right? So that we can end this once and for all, because this is the crazy thing. A lot of people, they have definitions for things, and the truth of the matter is they don't really know the real definition. It's just that how I was raised to believe, or how I was raised to look at something, that's what they believe. All right, here it is. Submissive, ready to conform to the authority or will of others. This is the definition. I want to meekly obedient or passive. Now, again, we have a lot of people have stripped back the definition, and it's pretty much, it's not saying that I'm weak and I'm going to do what you say, because the truth of the matter is, a lot of you guys, now I'm not trying to boast or brag because I'm an entrepreneur, but a lot of you guys that work jobs, you are submissive to your higher authority. I don't like using the word my boss. I don't like that. I hate that. I hate that word, right? Even with me, I don't have people that I'm the boss of. I have people that work with me, right? That get stuff done. Yeah, yes, they work for me to get a check, but I don't look at it from that angle. I look at it from an angle because I don't want people to work with me for 20, 30, 40 years and never build something on their own, right? I look at it totally different. Anyway, you're submissive, fellas. You are submissive in an area of your employment. If you're not an entrepreneur, even if you are an entrepreneur, you have to be submissive, especially in the work that we do as entrepreneurs. We are submissive to our clients. Right? Now, when I say submissive, we obey people, obey authority, right? Because this is the thing. If you don't have clients, you don't have no money coming in. That's a fact. So with the relationship world, submissive just simply means I'm just obeying authority. And so many of y'all have tainted this definition, tainted this word as it, and make it to be negative. And it's not negative, right? So let me get back to my original point. There are I believe everybody has a level of submissiveness in them. Now, the point that they were driving home was that there's some women, I believe that all women have it, and they agree that all women have it, this level of submissiveness. What they were saying was it's something about the man that activates the submissiveness in a woman. Even a dominant woman has a level of submissiveness in her. Now, this is what I want to share with you. When a woman sees some type of characteristics or some type of traits that's worthy of following, I'm talking about dominant women now. A dominant woman will be submissive to a man that displays this kind of characteristics to her. Period. All day long. She will allow him to lead her. And that's what I'm breaking down, because women have to, I don't care, fellas, catch me. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how dominant you are. I don't care if you walk in the room and you command authority. And I don't care if you walk in the room and people just bow down. A woman has to allow you the ability to be submissive to you and also to allow you to lead her. Period. I know some boss type dudes that have women that run over top of them because either she hasn't seen, and this is the thing about it. Yes, some women will bow down because you have money. Some women would do certain things just because you have money, or would change their characteristics or humble themselves, right? I'm talking about that boss type woman. I'm not talking just because she's a six-figure earner, a high six-figure earner. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a dominant personality woman. She will bow down, not bow down like you're the, no, let's really look at these words. She will humble herself. All right, because I got to choose my words with you guys because y'all don't receive what I'm saying. But she will humble herself just to be submissive, to submit to his authority, to submit to his leadership. She will allow him to lead. Now, let's get back to the nitty gritty, fellas. Many of you are making decisions in your relationship. You're making decisions for your life. And I want to break another layer down too. But I mean, if you're making decisions and making choices, but you're not standing on it. If you say, I'm just putting this, just hypothetically speaking, just example. If you say, okay, cool, I want our children to be in bed by 8 o'clock, I need you to stand on it. Like, and it's crazy because many of you are like, you're talking about just kids, putting the kids to bed. No. It goes deeper than just, okay, he said he wanted kids to go to bed at a certain time. You have to stand on that thing with, number one, intentionality, but also you have to stand on that thing because, like, listen, this is what I said, this is what I mean, and we're going to see this thing all the way through. Because if you're not seeing it all the way through, how do you expect her to follow your lead to see it all the way through? You put it in place, not her. So, the biggest thing that a lot of men fall victim of is because they don't stand true to their own words. They don't stand true to the decisions that they have chose to make. And just because, this is the big one, just because women get mad about listen, fellas. While you're in a relationship, every decision that you have to make in response or in according to your relationship, your woman won't like. So since your woman doesn't like your decision or doesn't agree with your decision, as the man, as the leader, I'm not saying that just because I'm the man, it's going to go my way. No, because sometimes my wife has better decisions. Right? Sometimes my wife will make, even though I'm the head, even though I'm the leader, sometimes my wife will make a better decision. Like, nah, babe, I don't think we should do that. We should pivot like this. Or, nah, babe, we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should do this. Many of you have gotten so ego driven that you don't want to take constructive criticism. I have a hard time with constructive criticism, depending on how you give it to me, right? I'm just really be honest. But many of you have a problem with constructive criticism. Many of you have a problem with, and it shouldn't be a problem. Many of you have a problem with a woman or your lady giving some advice on the direction that you should go. You're still the leader, but as the leader, she's giving you like, listen, I think through some experience or through what I see that this would be a better move, right? And many of you are not willing to take the advice of somebody that has your best interests. That's a bar. And what's damaging is, since you don't want to take the advice of somebody that has your best interest in mind, you will try to lead in a way that, number one, you're not qualified to lead, you know nothing about, you have no experience about, and watch this, you're going to crash the boat. Now it's up to y'all to repair the boat. That's why I tell everybody, I tell every fella, make sure you think through your decision that you want to make and you stand on it no matter what. I'm gonna really be honest with you. Now, I tell people this all the time too. The weak man or the pushover always come in last. They call those the nice guys. The nice guys always come in last. Why? Because a woman looks for true leadership, just like children, right? I'm not saying that women are like children, but if you ever notice, children love structure. Children is not necessarily a control thing, but children love order and structure. That's what they respond to. They respond well to order and structure. So do women. Women won't tell you that, oh, hey, I like structure. No, 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 no. But that's true. Women respond better to structure and order. Period. Think about it from this angle, especially if you don't want to agree with. Think about it from this angle. How many of y'all have ever been to jobs that did not have any structure? In the beginning, you appreciated it, right? I mean, you enjoyed it because you could do what you want to do, come and go as you please. You still getting a check, but eventually, watch this, things get haywire because if everybody's doing what they want to do, there's no SOPs, there's no kind of structure or framework in place on we do this, you need to do this, you need to take a lunch here. Everything goes haywire and eventually you lose interest in this job because there's no structure. Now, I've seen scenarios where there's no structure, and then when structure get in place or leadership comes in place and begin to set things in order, people push back against that. Why? Because I've been doing what I want to do for so long. Women are the same exact way. When you have a relationship and then she has been pushing you over, you've been a pushover this whole relationship. Now all of a sudden you want to get a backbone. Watch this. Eventually she'll be like, you know what? This is stupid. She got some pushback for you. Like, nah, I ain't doing it like that. I've been doing it my way for so long. So I tell couples, I tell men, when you go into a relationship, you have to stand on what you mean from day one. Stand on what you mean and stand by it. Many of you won't stand by the decision that you need to make because you don't want that woman to leave you. Many of you won't stand on the decision that you have to make because you don't want to find yourself alone. The truth of the matter is the real man that make a decision, that stands on the decision. If a woman leaves you for a minute decision, like, no, we doing this or whatever, I don't know what the decision may be that you're struggling with or that you have to make soon. But if a woman would leave you because of that decision, she wasn't with you from the beginning anyway. That wasn't the woman for you. So what I'm saying to all the fellas is when you make a decision, stand on your decision. No woman, I don't care who she is, whether she's a dominant woman or she's not a dominant woman. No woman loves a man. No woman wants to be with a man that, number one, can't lead and number two, can't stand on his decisions. It's already that a woman is emotional, right? I fight that to the death. Women are emotional. Now, there's going to be some people in the comments like, hold on, bro. Some men, I know some men that's emotional. Yes, I know some men as well that are emotional, that operate from emotions, that make decisions from emotions. That's not a good place to be. It's a dangerous place to be to make emotional decisions because you make irrational, emotional decisions. Why? Because of how you feel in the moment. How many of y'all have felt a certain type of way about any situation, about anybody, and the next few minutes or the next few days it changes? Emotional decisions. When you make emotional decisions, you always 990% of the time you make a piss poor decision. Period. Because any decision that's emotional is going to be bad. It's not going to be a good look at all because it's an emotional decision. Like, I don't want you, it's crazy. I don't want you making emotional decisions in your relationship. Like women make, I'm going to tell you this is a big one. Women make emotional decisions in the relationship. That's why I tell people there's two major things if you want your relationship to work. Fellas, listen close, come in closely. If you want your relationship to work, two things has to be in place. You have to be able to forgive quickly, and you also have to be able to forget what has happened. Period. Many of you will be like, no, I'm going to remember. I mean, okay, cool. If you remember what happened, Okay, I understand. I don't want it to happen again. But if you remember what happened, that same frustration and that same pain and that same hurt will begin to keep running again, and playing back and back again in your mind. And when you have a scenario like that playing back and back and back to back in your mind, watch this. It begins to form this thing that we like to call a grudge. I mean, in a relationship, you can't have a healthy relationship holding a grudge. Are you serious? Like that's crazy. How is it that I'm gonna have a healthy, effective relationship holding a grudge on something she said 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or I'm holding a grudge because of something he did a year ago? Like either you're going to forgive them and move on, or you're going to hold a grudge and say, "Listen, this is the end of the road for this relationship. I gotta go." I would rather, watch this, I would rather for you to say, "Hey, this is time for me to go. I gotta go. This relationship is not healthy for me. It's not healthy for us. It's not moving in the right direction. It's time for us to take the bow out. I'm done." I'd rather for you to do that than to stay in a relationship and be unhappy, right? Fellas, listen to your boy clearly. Make the decision that you need to make. Think through it, right? Think about the pros and the cons. Think about what could go wrong, what may go right. Think about everything about this decision, right? And stand on it. Stand on it. Like if you say, fellas, if you say your relationship, baby, this is what we're going to do. And this is the reason why I'm coming at you from this angle, because women look at men as the leader of the relationship. I need you to lead us in the direction that we're going. And I want to trust you. I'm talking about a woman now. A woman's going to look at a man. I'm going to trust you that you're going to lead us in the right direction. But if you're if you're wavering with your decision-making skills, chances are she's not going to follow you too far. So all the fellas, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Make a decision. If you're gonna make a decision, say, "Listen, baby, we're gonna budget this month, and we're only gonna go out to eat 4 times this month." What's going on, family? I know that you're enjoying the episode, but I had to pause to ask you a quick question. Have you ever been through anything in life that was so life altering that it changed your life forever? I mean, have you ever been and had a job and you lost that job? I mean, your dream job, you lost that job for whatever reason. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, you started a business and the business started off great and then it seemed as if it was going downhill. And now you're at a place, you lost your marriage, you lost your children, you lost some major things in your life. And now you're at a place in life where you're like, "Hey, this is the end of the road. I don't see it getting better." I got news for you. It will get better. And I wrote a book just for you. It's entitled Winning After a Major Loss. You need to go and get your copy. Go to barnesandnoble.com, go to amazon.com, get your copy right now. Winning After a Major Loss. I promise you, it's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to change your mindset. Most importantly, it's going to change your heart about your situation, because I promise you, you can win after a major loss. Go get your copy now. Barnes and Nobles, amazon.com. Order your copy now. Let's get back to the episode. Means that fast food, that means sit down restaurants, that means takeout. I mean, all of the above. Only 4 times this month. You have to exercise, fellas, the discipline to be able to say, "Listen, babe, we're going to do this and we're going to stick to it." Women love that. Women are attracted to a man that can make a decision, stand on the decision, and see this decision all the way through. Many of you fellas are not disciplined enough to see a decision all the way through. Many of you are not disciplined enough to stand on or make a decision and stand on it. Many of you fold the decision that you make because she's unhappy, right? It's just like this. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. I play Madden from time to time. I don't play much, but I play from time to time, right? So there's different levels that you can put the game in. So you can put rookie mode. I mean, pretty much you can have easy mode, normal mode, hard mode, and pro mode, right? And eventually, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's fun if you're playing in the mode where you can you're gonna win all the games. You're gonna catch all the balls. Eventually, in the beginning, and every time you run the ball, you score a touchdown. In the beginning, you will like that. You're gonna love it. The easy mode is always fun. But what happens is you get used to the easy mode and that gets boring. So eventually you want a challenge in this game to hold your attention. I've never met somebody that says, listen, this thing just allows me to score at will. I can just press the X button and I pass it and I'm going to catch it. I only have to look. I'm just press the X button. I'm going to catch it. I win, right? I score a touchdown. Eventually that gets old. You enjoy it for a while, but eventually that gets old. And watch this. Either you lose interest or you move on. Or you look for that thing, that game, to bring a challenge to you while you're playing. I'm going to tell you this. I don't want to win every game. Like, I'm going to give it my all every single game, but I don't want to win every game. I want to lose some games. I want to get to the end of the game and go into overtime and lose overtime, right? Like, I want to win, of course, but I don't want it to be an easy lay down win. I get bored of that. Women are the same way. So fellas, you have to make your decision, stand on it. If she decides to leave, stand on it. If she decides to get mad, stand on it. I promise you, at the end of the day, it's going to be tough in the beginning, but at the end of the day, she will respect you even more. Why? Not because you guys are having an argument, not because you're standing your ground, but the reason she'll respect you more is because you have made a decision and you have the discipline to see it all the way through. Fellas, let me ask you a question. Do you really have the discipline to see your decision all the way through? Ask yourself that question, because many relationships fail because a man cannot stand on the decision that he makes in his relationship. Hey, listen, stand tall. Love you guys. What's going on, family? I want to say thank you for rocking with us during this episode. We have been so excited to drop this episode. I'm glad that you made it to the end. This is what I want you to do. If you have any takeaways from this episode, leave it in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear how you feel. I want to bring content to you that's relevant to you, that'll help you change your life, because you already know our mission here at AOS Inspires, AOS The Podcast, is to empower the world to never give up, one conversation at a time, one interview at a time, one video at a time, to help you live life at the next level. This is what I need you to do. I need you to like, subscribe, share this episode. If it spoke to your life, share this episode with somebody. Why? Because you are connected to some people that we're not connected with. And with that connection together, we can empower the world to never give up. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS The Podcast. I can't wait to see you next week. Just in case you didn't know, we drop every single week, 3 times a week, Mondays, 8 a.m., Wednesdays, 8 a.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. You need to catch an episode. Matter of fact, catch all 3 episodes. It's going to be fire. I promise you it's going to help you doing your everyday life. It's going to help you get to the next level. Let's go.